Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's happening? What's happening? It's the homie, main man, made man up in here. Y'all know how I get down. We talking boxing, man. We up off the late night. It's officially 12:13 a.m. here in the DMV, and I'm riding with you on the first shift. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know how I do from time to time. Sometime when I got a little more energy, and I'm up, got some boxing thoughts on my mind. Hey, I figure why the hell not get up on here and talk some boxing? You know what I'm saying? Now, shout out to everybody that's up, man. Everybody that's taking that ride home from the club. Everybody that's rolling in from the bar. Everybody up working tonight, man. All my first shift workers. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you. You know what I mean? Anybody who ride with me tonight, it's all good. It's all love. Shout out to my security guards. Shout out to the people that's crunching the numbers. Shout out to everybody that's on the road, still delivering, still dropping off, picking up. If you up and you rocking with me, man, got me on the speakers. Much love to you. It's the homie, man, and we riding together. You know what I'm saying? Roll up. You hear me? Salah Farah, what's up with you? What's going on? What's going on? Yo, man, so tonight, haven't did anything. I just wanted before we get started say, yo, man, y'all gotta forgive me. I've been going through some technical difficulties on the live streams, man. I've been missing my Wednesday and Sundays, man, and it's really messing me up, man. It's really pissing me off, but I'm hoping everything rolls smooth tonight, and from the looks of it, it should. You know what I mean? Well, anyway, let's get right into this thing, man. I ain't did no research tonight. I'm coming off some raw boxing thoughts tonight. Real talk, man. What's good, man? And see, look, it's starting already. Look like they trying to start with me already, man. But we gonna keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying? So let me just say this, man. I want to talk about the homie Luis Ortiz. You know what I'm saying? I want to talk about Luis King Kong Ortiz. And I was hoping that we got a response from Luis King Kong Ortiz in response to him fighting Anthony Joshua. And I want to address some of the comments and some of the messages y'all been leaving me. You know what I mean? Y'all been telling me, main man, made man. Yo, we've been hearing that Luis Ortiz's trainer has been saying that it's not enough time. We'd agree. What's up with you? What's good, homie? Bounce as soon as it's 5:20 in the UK. I need my sleep. I ain't mad at you. I appreciate you for being up this time of night, rocking with me, man. But yo, man, bang for buck. What's up with you? Bang for buck. Luis Ortiz should have made it known he wants this fight, no doubt. My deal is this, man. And this is, I just want to address, because there's a lot of y'all naysayers out there that's saying, man, it's not long enough for him to train. And yo, I'm hearing his trainer is telling people, or Eddie Hearn is saying that, people is saying that it's not long enough for him to train. And it ain't fair. It ain't right. I'm going to tell y'all something, man. And this is just keeping it 100 with y'all. Y'all are forgetting who y'all talking about. We are talking about Luis King Kong Ortiz. This man marches to his own beat. What do I mean by that? When y'all sit back and y'all tell me that 4.5 weeks is not enough to go in there and possibly make $6.5 million. The man has a daughter that he cares for, that has medical ailments and things like that he has to look out for. When y'all tell me that this man can't get up in there and make $6.5 million possibly on short notice, and we'll get to that too. When y'all tell me he can't do it, or he won't do it, or it's too close of a time, then I refer to you to just last year. Last I recall, Dillian White was facing Derek Chisora on December 22nd. Luis Ortiz was fighting on the undercard of Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury. Correct? And was not Luis Ortiz willing to pull himself off of that undercard and go over to the UK and face Dillian White on short notice? And we wasn't even talking nowhere near 6.5 million possibly, right? We wasn't talking about fighting somebody for all of them belts for legacy purpose. He was talking about pulling himself off of a fight of a major pay-per-view on short notice to go across the water in a different time zone to face Dillian White. And y'all want to sit back and tell me that Luis Ortiz would not do this? Y'all want to tell me what the trainer is telling y'all? His people is saying, right? We Degree says Ortiz is the only option. I said it last time. Do I think Ortiz wins? Nope. Is it the best fight? Yes, I agree. And this is, see, y'all gotta understand, I'm not being unfair when I say this, man. Let's not forget also in that Dillian White situation with Luis Ortiz, I recall his manager, Jay Jimenez, saying he does not suggest that Luis Ortiz should go over to face Dillian White. The same way that his people today are saying, well, maybe it's too short of a time. I recall his own manager back then saying, no, I don't suggest it. But Luis Ortiz was down to do it anyway. His instructions to Dillian White was send the contract. Need I pull up the quotes? So don't give me no crap about Luis Ortiz in short notice. Like y'all don't remember who we talking about here. This dude is willing to do it before, and I'm sure he'll be willing to do it again. The only question that I got about Luis Ortiz, and this is just a legitimate question, and I ain't trying to make fun of him or nothing, but is he on his blood pressure medication? The stuff that got him late in the past on drug tests. Now, if he got this shit running through his veins, then he can't accept the fight, correct? He can't. Nothing he can do about that. Bang for Buck says the 500,000 PBC be breaking him off fight by fight is bird feed compared to this purse. This dude could retire after this fight all day. Now, the thing is, though, Bang for Buck, and that's something that I want to make sure that is official, because I heard Eddie Hearn try to mix some little language in what he's been saying. Basically saying they asked him flat out, is the 6.5 million going to stand for whoever stands in? And I heard Eddie Hearn kind of wiggle a sentence or two in there, like, you know, it all depends on basically their, you know, what kind of worth they are to TV. You know what I'm saying? How much worth they are. Now, we all know facts. Luis Ortiz's name here in America is bigger than Jarrell Big Baby Miller's. And if you're willing to offer Jarrell Big Baby Miller 6.5 million, ain't no fucking way the reason you can't offer that to Luis Ortiz. Salah Farah says, is Luis Ortiz being offered the fight? Well, if you Google Eddie Hearn's name right now, just Google it. I'll guarantee you the first 5 articles will all be talking about how Anthony Joshua wants to fight Luis Ortiz, how Anthony Joshua wants to fight Luis Ortiz, how Eddie Hearn saying he wants that could be a big fight. At least the first 5 to 6, maybe 7, you know, articles you will Google, it'll come back saying that. Of course, he's been offered the fight. Now, the question is, has he been offered the fight at the same 6.5 million? And if Eddie Hearn turns the knobs a little bit and changes certain terms, then that may be a big thing. That may change things. I will admit. Bang for Buck says, he says something like whatever is left he can have. Yeah, I mean, I don't understand that language. My whole argument based on this is to just erase Jarrell Big Baby Miller's name off the contract and offer Luis Ortiz the same terms. Not no turning down and now, not changing the terms, not taking a little bit of money away. Oh, well, we gave 6.5 to Big Baby. Well, to Luis Ortiz, we'll throw him, 3.5. And I know what y'all may say, well, that's better than the 500,000 he got offered by in Wilder. Dog, no. For short notice purposes, for such a high risk gamble, Luis Ortiz deserves no less than what he's offered Jarrell Big Baby Miller. You get me? We Degree says, don't get me wrong, the switching stance is an issue for AJ, but nobody want to see anybody but Ortiz in the UK. Shout out to the UK. And that's what I'm saying, man. It's like it's universal, homie. It's universal. So when I'm hearing fight fans come out here and tell me, oh, man, that ain't fair on Luis Ortiz or that ain't fair on Anthony Joshua, y'all are putting your own thoughts in it. Y'all not listening to the fighters or seeing how these fighters move. Because when everybody was saying, well, it ain't fair for Anthony Joshua to adjust to a southpaw, something I started to think about, a dangerous southpaw. Then I hear Anthony Joshua coming out. Oh, he wants Luis Ortiz. Eddie Hearn out here talking about that's his first option. That was the first name that came out of his mouth. Okay, fine. And then y'all telling me, oh, well, Luis Ortiz, he needs a longer time to train. But yet Luis Ortiz was willing to go on 3 weeks notice, 2 weeks notice to go and face Dillian White. So for not nearly the prestige that's involved in this fight. So don't give me that. I'm not buying it, cousin. I'm not buying it. This is Luis King Kong Ortiz, a man who I have tremendous respect for. Let me ask you this. If Luis Ortiz doesn't do this fight, right? When is the next big opportunity going to come around? Word on the curb is, he may be waiting for Deontay Wilder to offer him a rematch. Well, I tell you this, with Deontay Wilder facing Dominique Brazil, Dillian White positioning himself in the WBC to try to get next, Tyson Fury on the horizon, we're going to be screaming for the Anthony Joshua fight. Where does Luis Ortiz fit in? At some risk, at some gamble, at some plan C? Hell nah, cousin. We ain't going like that. Orlando Finney in the building. What's up, fam? What's up, homie? Ride with me off the late night, man. What's up, man? Luis Ortiz has earned the right to fight Anthony Joshua for them belts all day. All day. And he deserves the right to get paid exactly, if not more, than Jarrell Big Baby Miller, in my opinion. You know what I mean? So we've seen this movie before, man. I ain't asking Luis Ortiz to do nothing. We Degree said this is Ortiz's last shot. Bruh, I can't think of any other opportunity in the near horizon that is as big as this, possibly for Luis Ortiz. Now, Eddie Hearn has stated that, so I guess we can give this a little bit of air for the next couple of days, because Eddie Hearn is on record and he's out here telling everybody he's going to make a decision sometime next week. So he's going to let this weekend go by, let these next few days play out, talk behind the scenes, do whatever they got to do. And then he'll come out next week and announce who the person going to be. Now, one thing we got to keep our third eye on, fight fans. One thing we got to keep our third eye on is the fact that I think that Eddie Hearn also favors Derek Chisora. I was listening to Derek Chisora, and I'm listening to how Eddie Hearn lights up like a Christmas tree when he talks about Derek Chisora. Because Derek Chisora is a walking, talking promo machine, exactly just like Jarrell Big Baby Miller. Yeah, we wouldn't welcome him like that here on American soil, and we'll be frowning our nose up at that. But the one thing that Derek Chisora can do is sell a fight for a last-minute opponent. That's something that Eddie Hearn actually likes. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep our eye. I found it real funny because Derek Chisora fights. This is what he fights this weekend, correct? So I find it real funny that, you know what I mean, after, I think he's really keeping his eye on the Derek Chisora situation too. But I ain't buying it, fight fans. So all of y'all that's been hitting me up, nah, man, this is what the trainer said. They said 7 weeks. So did Jay Jimenez back when it was time to fight Dillian White. He told him not to do it. Well, Luis Ortiz says, I'm doing it anyway. Let me go to the quote exactly to what Luis Ortiz said back then. After much thought and consideration, I accept your challenge. If you won't come down to the USA, then I'll step off the Wilder Fury card and fly over to the UK and fight you in your own backyard. Done deal. Enough talking that rubbish you speak. Send over the contract and I'm there. Now you got yourself a real problem, son. End quote. Those were the words that Luis Ortiz told Dillian White when he was scheduled to fight on December 1st and Dillian White was scheduled to fight on December 22nd. Fuck out of here. Lawrence Williams in the building. What's up, homie? Riding with me off the late night. Much love to you. Much love to you. Bang for Buck PC says, will Al Heyman get in the way? And see, this is why I put the title to what it was, Bang for Buck. Luis Ortiz is his own man. Luis Ortiz, look, man, Al Heyman may have some influence in this situation. Don't get me wrong. He's the manager / advisor. Or whatever that means. But at the end of the day, Luis Ortiz is going to march to his own beat. He's a Cuban. That's one thing you got to say about these Cubans. They march to their own beat. I covered Guillermo Rigondeaux extensively back in the day. It still stands on this channel. The one thing I learned about Cuban fighters, just looking at the upbringing of Guillermo Rigondeaux, they march to their own beat. They choose their own promoters. Whenever one person ain't getting the job done for them, they move on. They have no loyalties to this game. They have loyalties to themselves. You hear me, though? So Al can try. Al's job at the end of the day, though he puts them in certain contracts, and I don't want to get too deep into that. I'm fully aware of the type of contracts that Al Heyman puts on his fighters, where he gets the last say so. But at the end of the day, Al Heyman's job is to serve his fighters in the best interest of his fighters, what they see for. We need to understand something. Al Heyman has PBC, and he's doing a good job with it. That's a good thing. I'm glad we get to see the fighters on PBC. But at the end of the day, Al Heyman works for the fighters. Boxing fans have exalted Heyman so much that we blur the lines now to thinking that the fighters work for Heyman. We forget this shit, man. We forget this shit. It's on DAZN, the only thing that stands in the way. Okay, well, let me say this. When Luis Ortiz was pulling himself off a major pay-per-view with Deontay Wilder, willing to go over to face Dillian White in the UK, what network would that have been on? You get me? What could Al Heyman have done in that situation? You know? So, I mean, come on, man. Luis Ortiz marches to his own drum, bro. Luis Ortiz is a Cuban fighter. Once again, they think different. They don't think like a Danny Garcia. They don't think like a Sean Porter and do what they're told. Or no, they do what's best for them because they know there are very few people in this boxing game that really looks out for the Cuban fighter. They know this. They don't speak English fluently. They don't raise a ruckus in the crowds fluent. They have to look out for themselves, man. You know, so it is what it is, you know. It is what it is. Bang for Buck says, listen, man, White or Joshua, I don't care. Somebody need to see Luis Ortiz. Hey, man, I prefer to just this AJ situation. It's a beautiful situation. It's a perfect situation. I get it. I get it. We talking 4.5 weeks tops of training. I understand. This is the definition of stay ready so you ain't got to get ready. I'm listening to Dillian White saying, look, man, I'll take the offer. Fuck it. Dillian White is out in quotes. I'll take the offer. I'll shrink. I'll get myself in shape and I'll be up in that ring on June 1st. I'll take the offer. It's better than the offer I guess they offered him in the UK where they offered him £4 million to fight AJ a few months ago, right? He didn't like the rematch terms and all of that other stuff. I just feel like that Dillian White would be too much of a diva. I've already said that. We Degree says Ortiz hasn't fought on a different network, though, so we don't know. But he was willing to do it. And on top of that, to put the icing on the cake, he was also willing to sign a 3-fight deal with Matchroom. Y'all see, we forget about this. This just happened a few short months ago. He was willing to do this against the advice of everybody. So when y'all asking me, how would Al Heyman feel about it? How would this Luis Ortiz was willing to pull himself off a major pay-per-view and sign a 3-fight deal with somebody that already screwed him in the past just to get that fight on short notice. Come on, man. Come on, quiet. Lawrence Williams says that's true about them Cuban fighters. Gamboa went from top rank to 50, back to top rank to Golden Boy, and now PBC. You feel me, Lawrence? I agree 100%. And Gamboa is another one. Gamboa is another one. If you do not do what if you don't get these Cuban fighters in certain positions, they take charge themselves. This is just how they move. And Luis Ortiz ain't no different. I truly think that Luis Ortiz is pondering this right now. Everybody who's telling me what's coming out of their camp is telling me what somebody else is saying. I'm hearing what Eddie is saying. I'm hearing what a trainer is saying. But Luis Ortiz is not no church mouse. He speaks for himself. Let me hear from him. I think he pondering it. Personally, I think he honestly sitting back like, man, I gotta weigh this option, man. Like this is a hell of an opportunity right here. This is a hell of an opportunity. I mean, how can I turn this down? 6.5 million possibly. He could walk away easy with what, 3 to 4 million after it's all said and done. Taxes, manager fees, blah, blah, blah. He ain't never made this kind of money in his whole career. With all the respect that we got for him, he has never made this kind of money. And if this is the way it's going to have to happen for the sake of his little girl, his family, all of these things, then so be it. That's so be it. It is what it is. It is what it is. We Degree says, yeah, but we can't emphasize, bro. It's not happening. Emphasize, bro. It's not happening. No, you saying we can't emphasize that it's not going to happen as far as the fight? Maybe they come to an agreement. I hope so. I hope so. You know what I mean? I really do. We Degree says, like I said, my option is Ortiz. A great fight. Me too, man. That's the first option of everybody. It ain't rocket science. We all want to see Luis Ortiz do this. It would be nice if somebody can say, you know what, we'll scoot the date back a little bit. But they say they got 10,000 Brits coming over here. They say they got 7,000 Americans allegedly that bought tickets. They got 17,000 in the building and they not trying to move the date. Madison Square Garden is probably booked up for other things. It's going to be even hard to move the venue. So they all in. I don't even care much for the other names that they talking about. It ain't going to be none of the top dogs. So guess what? What you got left is Luis Ortiz, and I said this last night, or maybe even Oscar Rivas. I wouldn't mind seeing that as a short notice. But everybody else is like, nah, man. I don't want to see no Pulevs who can't fight anyway. Even Bob Arum just came out and told everybody that he can't fight because of the situation with the reporter. He got to appear before the California State Athletic Commission. Ain't nobody to talk about. Dillian White is not a name here in America. And this dude wants to splash into America. Anthony Joshua. He wants to splash here. He don't want to come in here creeping through the back door. He want everybody to know I'm here. And Dillian White, as big as he may be in the UK, I know he a pay-per-view attraction out there. He ain't that here. Though his last fight was on Showtime, that could have did him nothing but good. That could have did him nothing but good. You know what I'm saying? The manager of Dillian White, Jay Jimenez, during that time, the manager of, Luis Ortiz, Jay Jimenez, during that time when he was looking to make the Dillian White, says, and I quote, "I don't want to fight. I told Luis no, because we already offered him the fight here in December 1st card, and White refused. And when the WBC gave him a mandatory against us, he refused. So why go on his terms and fly to the UK? That makes no sense. There's only so much that I could do. As a manager, my job is to give the best advice and be there for my team. But he's a grown man, and the truth is, the fighter is the boss. So at the end, they will always have the last word. So I guess we will be in the UK soon. Bingo. You feel me? Don't matter what your team say. It's what the fighter says. Don't give me that. That's what I'm telling y'all, man. Y'all been killing me with, the trainer said this and Eddie said that and this person said this, and nobody ain't said to me one word about what Luis Ortiz said. I'm not buying it, son. Weed Degree says White wouldn't take it anyways. He wanted 8 to 9 weeks camp for Wembley. I agree, but White is out saying he'll take it now. He must like that pot of money that's coming with the fight. He must have came to his senses. And at this moment, he got no options right now. He ain't got nothing to do. He been shut down so many times by the WBC. He ain't got nothing to do. So he just like, yeah, fuck it. I'll take it. 6.5 million. An opportunity to beat AJ. I'll take it. I'll get back in shape in that little bit of time. It is what it is. Nah, cuzzo. We gonna rock with Luis Ortiz. So I'm willing to give it some time. Vincent Roof, what's up with you? They must need to go after Adam Kalinowski. He from New York. He's a little green, but it's a good green. Yeah, Adam already shut it down. He already put on his social media. It ain't happening. Adam is out. He already removed himself from this situation. He made it official fast. He came out ASAP like, no, thank you. Thanks, but no thanks. Thanks, but no thanks. He is a little green, and I think he sees the future. He sees a brighter future for himself. He like, I know I'm not there yet. I'm not even going to put myself in that situation to be some sort of circus act. I'm not going to do it. All money ain't good money. In his case, who has a longer career in front of him than Luis Ortiz does, that he can sit back and afford to say, I'm good. Thanks, but no thanks. Luis Ortiz is more closer to the door than Adam Kalinowski is. You know what I mean? He can't afford to be making decisions like that. You know what I mean? Nah, Adam ain't ready. Bang for Bucks PC says, if I hear Ortiz come out and pipe up after Joshua's opponent is announced, that's shameful. The time for talking is now. I don't want to hear that either. Because the opportunity is going to be gone. It's going to be out of here. They're going to be looking to put, if AJ can't get the Wilder or Tyson Fury fights, or they maybe even pivot back to Dillian White or pivot to one of his mandatories. Pulev is right there on the horizon. Though he's dealing with a situation today, he's still the IBF mandatory. They'll have to deal with that situation. They may have a mandatory from other belts. They'll do other things. This is the window right here. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, man. And I hope Luis Ortiz think long and hard about this. If he's not in shape, look, I get it, man. He might not be in tip top, but this is why you got to stay ready. But I've never really seen Luis Ortiz, getting too much out of shape. But, he's an older cat. Who knows? You know what I mean? He just fought not too long ago, though. The Hammer fight. That wasn't too long ago. That was a tough fight on him. I didn't think it was that tough where he can't come back now, but he can't be too much out of shape, I wouldn't think. Only thing that I told you, I'm gonna say it before and I say it again. Lewis Coleman, what's up, homie? Only thing that makes me wonder is, has he been taking his meds, and is that shit running through his veins? That's the only thing that I'm concerned about. And he know he's not gonna pass the drug test. He may take this stuff between fights, and he got to get it out before the fight happens. By this happened on short notice, I don't know. Lawrence Williams says March 2nd, Ortiz fought Hammer. That was on March 2nd. Yeah. So here we are, April 19th. Well, that's about a month and some change away. You know, I mean, look, man. I know, man. The odds, it do sound, you know, the odds sound a little tough, man. Like, yo, that wasn't, and it was a tough. He took some good punches in that fight. It's never suggested for a fighter who maybe even coming off the Hammer fight is close, you know, took what he took in that fight. Maybe suggested to get back into a big time fight like this. But bruh, this is how life is sometimes, man. Life throw you curveballs like this. As long as the commissions and the licenses people that said and the doctors say he's in good enough health to get back in there and fight. Look, man, he got to look at that little girl, man. He got to look at his career from here on out. Like, will I have another opportunity like this? These are the things you got to think about as a fighter. I just don't see Luis Ortiz, man. Just he I don't know. He just cut from a different cloth to me, man. And I don't know. Lewis Coleman says Ortiz should take this fight. Get that bread. He has a daughter who needs that bread. If I'm a fighter, I take it. And that's the grounds I'm talking about, Lewis. There's the bigger picture here for him, man. He got that little girl that I know he adores. You know what I'm saying? He needs to get the money, even if it's only for that situation alone. Look, man, I've heard fight fans say, Jarrell Big Baby cheeseburger eating ass Miller. I've heard them say, well, look, even if he wasn't in shape or wasn't ready to go, he still should have just left the stuff out of his system and got in the ring. If he'd have lost, he lost. He would have walked away with a bag of money and probably even raised his stock in the process. Well, if we can say that about Jarrell Miller, then I don't see no reason. I mean, look, man, I don't want to see Luis Ortiz ruin his money or none of that shit. You dig? Ruin his legacy. I'm sorry. But at the end of the day, there's a bigger picture. He's closer to the end. We'd agree. You got the roll. Okay, homie. Much love to you, man. Much love for stopping through, bro. See you on the next one, homie. See you on the next one, man. Good night. I'm out, bro. Stay safe. At Lawrence, you too, G. All day. That's fam right there. Alex Cartier, what's up, man? Fresh in this. I assume Ortiz still quiet as a mouse. He is, man. He is. You know, and it's cool. You know, Eddie Hearn gave everybody some space. He says, look, I'll make the announcement next week. I think he pondering it though, bro. I think he pondering it, man. And ain't nobody gonna tell me otherwise until I hear from Luis Ortiz's mouth to say I'm out. I'm good. Thanks, but no thanks. Thanks, but no thanks. He may even be using this as some sort of negotiating leverage behind the scenes. I wouldn't be surprised. Like, you see the opportunity I can take now. You see what's available. I can just say yes right now, and I can go and talk to Eddie, and we can get it done. Do you got something better for me, Al? Do you got something better for him? He could be using this behind the scenes as some sort of negotiating leverage too. This is the fight game, man. There's a lot of shit about this game we don't see. This could be a bigger blessing to Luis Ortiz in other ways as well. Like, Al, look, do you got something? Can you tell me for sure that I'm going to get Wilder before this year's out or before, early next year? Can you put that in writing for me and say 100 that I'm going to get this? Renee Box Young in the building. What's up, homie? What's going on? Can you tell me that for sure? He could be using that behind the scenes, man. Just don't know. I just don't know. But I hope so. I believe that Luis Ortiz is his own man, and whatever decision that he makes will be the best decision for himself, and it's the decision that he wants to make. Big Ortiz look like he's speaking now, making moves. Yeah, I hope so. I got respect for Luis Ortiz. I hope so. I got respect for Cuban fighters. I do. I'm gonna move on to something else, but I just want to say, y'all don't understand, man. A lot of y'all wasn't here maybe about a year or so ago, right around the time when Guillermo Rigondeaux fought Vasil Lomachenko. And I did a straight up backstory on Guillermo Rigondeaux, and I learned a lot by covering that. I mean, I went all the way back to his amateur days, step by step, how he exchanged managers, how he had to go through certain different promoters at his own whim signing all kinds of deals that he just wanted to make the best situation for him, being depressed, having to go back to Cuba, sitting around smoking cigarettes all day because ain't nobody want to give him a shot. How he shocked Bob Arum and deflated one of his biggest stars. When I learned all about this type stuff, bro, and I was like, damn, it made me start looking into Luis Ortiz and Arislandi Law and Yorkis Gamboa and see what they went through, how Cuban amateurs are so sought after, how Cuban, the country of Cuba protects their amateurs just to keep them there and keep them broke because of their style, how they're such effective amateur fighters that they don't want other countries to get them. So most of them have to defect. Man, when I started learning about that, bro, I was like, damn. Slim is deep will go down with Cuban fighters. Y'all better get hip, man. If Ortiz doesn't take the fight, Lewis Coleman says, if Ortiz doesn't take the fight, then he is stupid. I mean, he better give a damn good reason. That's all I can tell you. He better give a damn good reason on why he passed up this bag of money. But I'm going to tell y'all again, like I told y'all earlier in the stream. Remember we talking about Eddie Slickback Hearn. This dude can turn the knobs on this fight at the drop of a hat. And he could say, well, Lewis, yeah, I mean, I offered Jarrell Miller 6.5, but, maybe you don't speak English and, you don't sell a fight as good as he does. And, you're probably a bit of a more dangerous fighter. So for you, I'll offer it for you at 3.5 million. That's still 3 times as much money as you've ever made in your whole career. Then that's when things change. I ain't feeling that shit. George Costanza, what's up with you? I ain't feeling that. No. I'm not feeling that. If you want Luis Ortiz, just erase Jarrell Miller's name off the contract, stamp Luis Ortiz's name on that contract, and you send him the exact same terms. That's what my whole argument is based on. Real talk. Bank for Buck says, who do you think they would choose? It better not be Michael Hunter. I mean, I think he's the front runner. If Luis Ortiz don't take it, I think this Michael Hunter cat is the front runner, man. And that's, I think he honestly, and that ain't much to say, only basically because he's an American. But I think he's the front runner because they're talking him up too much, trying to force it on us. Nah, bruh. Renee Box Young says, most deaf. Respect to Rigo, no doubt. Rigo deserves a lot more. No question. People don't know what Rigo been through, as well as other Cuban fighters. George Costanza says, indentured servantry of Cuban amateurs. You know what I'm talking about, George. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Dog, it's a hunt for Cuban fighters in the amateur ranks. It is a hunt for them. It's a dirty game. You better see how many of them had to defect and sneak out of that country in the dark of night and get on some boat and mess with shady characters just to get to certain places. Man, y'all better get hip if y'all don't already know. Lewis Coleman says Eddie knows Joshua needs a dancing partner. True shit. But also Eddie knows that maybe I need to find somebody that I know that Joshua can beat. You know what I mean? If he can find that perfect balance of a name, but somebody he believes that AJ can beat, it's like a balance he's looking for. You know what I'm saying? But he definitely knows that. And DAZN is going to be looking at him like, you better do it that way. Slim, you are not going to give DAZN no duds. This is AJ's introduction into the American audience, the audience that DAZN is trying their best in battling with ESPN to capture, as far as on the app level. They are battling with ESPN to catch this audience, and it starts with Anthony Joshua. They've already got Canelo, but now they need Anthony Joshua to get just as big. And if you send them over here to fight a Michael Hunter, they're gonna be sitting back like, yo, this ain't what we bought into. Eddie gonna really be, and see, we were talking about this last night. A lot of y'all brought that up and was like, yo, Eddie would probably be backed into a corner. And Luis Ortiz should take advantage of that corner. You need me. Shit, Luis Ortiz might even negotiate a better deal. Who knows? You know what I mean? Renee Box Young says that George Costanza, true that, man. Hearn can hustle. President's man all day. Lewis Coleman says, I think AJ beats Ortiz by knockout. He's too old, so pay Ortiz, Eddie. You know what? We've been talking about this the whole time. We never even really got into stylistically how would their fight play out. That's a good question, man. That's a good question. That's a good point. You see AJ winning. You say stopping Ortiz. That's big. I mean, coming off the Hammer fight, it wasn't his most impressive fight. Hammer was laying some right hands on him, cousin. I don't deny that, but I mean, it depends, man. I think I'm gonna say this. I think Luis Ortiz's stamina level is a little bit better than AJ's from what I've seen. Even though he's the older dude, I still think it's a little bit better. You know what I mean? And there's always that risk of Luis Ortiz catching AJ with a big hand. Now, AJ is a little bit more, it can be a bit patient. Like even in the Povetkin fight, he didn't just jump right up on Povetkin. He let Povetkin kind of do his little thing. He kind of got the timing of Povetkin down. He started putting him on the outside of that jab, and it was night. As for Luis Ortiz, I really think AJ will approach that fight cautiously, even though it's short notice. I think he will approach it cautiously. And then it's gonna be interesting, man. I don't see it as quite 50-50 due to short notice, but I do give AJ the slight edge, but I don't think it's gonna be easy. And I can see a stoppage now. I think about it. I don't think it's gonna be easy. I think it's gonna be a patient fight by both men, at least the first six. AJ is not going to jump on Luis Ortiz. He's going to try to use that jab and stay on the outside for a bit. But you run the risk of being countered by a hell of a counterpuncher. It'll be a good fight, bro. Bang for Buck says Joshua is ready. The last opponent was a southpaw in Povetkin. True talk. And you see Povetkin had some successes in that fight, Bang for Buck. Now, like I said before, the number one thing that AJ had going for him in that fight was the height and the reach. He took that step back. He started putting that jab on Povetkin. Povetkin couldn't get around it. He started tagging Povetkin ass, and it was night. As for Luis Ortiz, he's not nearly as short, and he's not nearly as aggressive early on. It'd be a different dynamic in that fight. That fight wouldn't go like the Povetkin fight, I don't believe. You know what I'm saying? Povetkin wasn't using his jab nearly as effective as Luis Ortiz would, and most importantly, he wasn't nearly as patient as Luis Ortiz would be. At least the Luis Ortiz we all know. Now, that Luis Ortiz that got in there with Hammer, he didn't fight in the normal Luis Ortiz way. I will admit. George Costanza says Ortiz, has that beautiful family as extra motivation. Yeah, man. And that's why I say, dog, like, I understand what we talking about in legacy and, taking this risk and all of this stuff. But, there's a bigger picture. And this man is closer to the door than most. And ain't no opportunity like this on the horizon. I don't see no time soon. No, man. I don't know. Alex Cartier says that 80-20 odds. 80-20 odds in favor of AJ, 80-20 odds. Yeah, AJ will be the favorite. I mean, come on. This dude has already been in shape. He's been training. Now, he ain't been training for this style, granted. But as far as being in shape and conditioning is concerned, AJ looking like he in good shape. I don't know exactly the shape that Luis Ortiz has let himself get into after his last fight. That's concerning. When you got all of these things mixed, of course it favors AJ. Everything favors AJ, but I don't count Luis Ortiz out. That 20 you giving him, cousin, that's a dangerous ass 20, Alex. That's a dangerous ass 20, son. That's a dangerous ass 20. Luis Coleman says, never said easy, but Joshua stops Ortiz before Wilder did. That's why Joshua wants it. Ortiz is old and people know it. Look, man, I mean, that could be the case. I don't deny that. I mean, we know what happened back in the day when they could have honestly made that fight back in the day. We know how it went down. Ortiz was on Matchroom. He was over in the UK, the whole nine. Eddie Hearn wanted to maximize and keep trying to and build or whatever, keeping AJ away from him. You know what I mean? So we all know how that story plays out. Now he's much older. This is years later. And, short notice, the whole 9 yards. But when I say that I want Luis Ortiz to take this fight, it's for the benefit of Ortiz. That's how I'm looking at it. You know what I'm saying? That's how I'm looking at it. Other than that, man, this dude going to be fighting. They was just talking not too long ago about him fighting Joe Joyce. Remember before Joe Joyce came to his senses and realized that he wasn't there yet? They was talking about this man fighting Joe Joyce, man. What would that have did for him? Not a damn thing. Not a damn thing. For one, his name ain't known here. And for two, I mean, people would have said, oh, he beat up on an up-and-coming prospect or a fighter or a contender or something like that. What is that going to do for Luis Ortiz? Dillian White playing Duck, Duck, Goose. That is another one that would make sense. But Dillian White is resisting that. Dillian White is trying his best to protect his position in the WBC right now. He ain't going to take that risk. He had many opportunities to take that risk. So what is going to be up next for this man? I don't know, man. I don't know. This just really, I don't know, man. All right, Lewis Coleman says, does Danny knock out Granados? Good question. I think so. I think Granados going to sleep. I think Granados going to sleep, man. You know, outside of what Adrian did with Amir Imam, and also that he gave Adrian Brown a hell of a fight. It could have been even possibly the fight could have been given to him. I don't recall Adrian Granados really moving the needle much for me. Come forward fighter, gets touched a lot. Head movement is minimal. Some say pressure bothers Danny, though. Some say pressure definitely bothers Danny. I think Danny stops him, man. I think Danny stopped. Danny got too much to prove right now, man. Danny's name is not in the elite conversation right now. I'm sorry. Y'all people may say I'm tripping over that. I just don't think it is. I don't think this is, we've seen this before. Danny comes to welterweight. Danny gets a belt. Danny loses. Danny goes to the bottom of the welterweight, fights the um, yo, I like everything that we've been talking about, and I don't want to have to take this down. So I'll give it maybe one more shot. I know a lot of y'all probably tuned out, but I don't want to be going through those problems again tonight that we've been dealing with. So I'll rock with it a little longer. If it happens again, then let me just say in advance, look, man, much love to each and every one of y'all for rocking with me off the late night, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, but just to answer the question that the homie Lewis Coleman says, man, will Danny, knock him? I think Danny stops him though, bro. I think that's where it goes. I think Danny gets the job did. I think he gets the job done effectively. And yeah, man, stream problems. I've been having these stream problems for the last couple of days. I've already given my network providers a call. They're supposed to be coming sometime tomorrow. So hopefully we'll get it rectified, man. I'll see what the fuck the problem is, because I've been dealing with this to like the last couple of days and I ain't feeling it. You know what I'm saying? For real. I got Verizon on the case, so we'll see how it goes. After the day, should definitely be no problems. Plus, on top of that, I'm ordering the freaking pay-per-view tomorrow with Terrence Bud Crawford and Amir King Khan, in which I'm looking forward to seeing Terrence Bud Crawford knock Amir King Khan back to the UK and make him think twice about ever stepping into the ring with the #1 pound-for-pound fighter. You know what I mean? Nah, Spence beats Danny, probably another UD, as Danny has a solid chin. Spence can KO any man named Garcia. Yeah, man, that'd be a good fight, truth be told, because Garcia packs a good punch. But nah, I think Garcia, man, will get pressured too much by Earl Spence Jr. Man, it's like ever since I seen what Mauricio Herrera did to him, and he put that kind of pressure on him, and I seen what Showtime Sean Porter did to him, I just think that pressure is the Achilles heel of Danny Garcia. He freezes. He freezes, especially when the blueprint is out there, bro. When you box him first and then you put pressure on him second, it confuses the hell out of Danny Garcia. He'd be lost in the mixing bowl. You know what I'm saying? But in Adrian Granados' case, I don't think he has the proper tools to do that. That is, to me, the blueprint on how to beat Danny Garcia. You got to box him for at least a few rounds of the fight and throw his timing and rhythm off, because that's what he's always looking to do. He's always looking to time you. He's always looking to come with them no-look hooks and always looking to come and bring his hard shots when he gets your timing down. But what throws Danny Garcia off is when you throw him different rhythms. And Adrian Granados just doesn't have, to me, possess the skill set to do that. You know what I mean? And I think he gets stopped. I just think he gets stopped, man. I think he's a straight up and down fighter. I think he has a lot of heart and good out there, straight out to him. I think he's a straight up and down fighter. I don't think he's going to last 12 rounds with Danny Garcia, bro. I just don't see it. But he's slow and predictable. Yeah, he's slow and you saying Danny is slow and predictable, or you saying Adrian Granados is slow and predictable? Either way, I think that, man, he just doesn't have the like I said, he don't have that you know what I mean, that skill set to adjust, to do different things in a fight. He's the same guy each and every fight, and Danny will get his timing down and sleep his ass. Marcus Davis says Spence can hurt Danny as well too. Spence inside game is better than Danny Garcia's. People act just because Spence didn't knock Mikey out, his power ain't there. No more Spence. Still got power. Nah, bro. That's one thing that's the one train I ain't never said, never said. I mean, Spence just showed us another dynamic to his game in that fight. I keep telling people, man, look, don't get it twisted. I thoroughly believe that if Earl Spence Jr. would have fought the way he fought in the second half of that fight, for the first half of that fight, he would have got Mikey out of there. He would have got Mikey out of there. I just think that Earl was just listening to his trainer, following a certain game plan that was given to him by Derrick James, and he stood with the game plan. And he showed us he can execute that game plan well. But I'm going to say this too. And, I was shout out to the homie Black Horseman Promotions. I was riding with him in the stream earlier, man. And he was talking some real talk. They, he had a good panel going on up in there, and they were talking about, of course, my main man, Keith One Time Thurman. And I'm going to keep on saying this, and I want it to be known on this channel, that Keith One Time Thurman is the final boss. Why do I say that? He is the M. Bison of the welterweight division. Remember that. Remember that. When it's all said and done, when Earl mixes it up with whoever, whether it be Porter, whether it be Terrence, whether it be Danny, whoever emerges when the smoke clears, we'll meet my man at the top of the mountain. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to be beautiful. And whoever beats the final boss gets to progress into all nothing but greatness if you beat the final boss. That's how I see it, man. That's how I see it. But I think Danny stops this dude, man. I think he stops Adrian Granados straight up and down, no special effects, come forward fighter, not good head movement. He has a lot of heart, and he does like to come forward and give a lot of punches, but he is predictable as hell. You can see everything he's throwing, And most importantly, he's the type of dude who will walk into a lot of your shots. You can't do that with Danny Garcia. Can't do it. You can't do it. That's one thing Danny is good at. If you're a fighter that comes to him, I think he can, as long as you're not bringing a certain type of aggression to him, which I don't think that Adrian Granados' heat is enough for Danny Garcia. And if you can't switch mid-fight, nah, you're going to be timed. Did you see Clarissa Shields' comment today? She said she can beat Thurman. Yeah, Clarissa Shields, man. Yeah, she feeling herself right now, man. I ain't mad at the GOAT, man. Let the GOAT feel like the GOAT feel. You know, you got cats out here nowadays throwing the GOAT and they pound for pound rankings with the dudes. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, man, it's, you know, she got to do that because she's trying to get her name out there. She's trying to make headlines. Let her do what she got to do. Of course, we don't believe it. I don't look, man. My thing is, even if you're a female, let it be known. I shouldn't even have to say this. You know what I'm saying? But even if you a bum male fighter and you go in there with the best female fighter, you're going to knock her out. Men's strength, women's strength is different. I don't care how many muscles she thinks she got. I don't care what she says she did in sparring. Come on, man. Men's strength and women's strength is different. To even make the fight a fair fight, it would have to take a super middleweight woman versus a flyweight male just to make it a fair fight. There's a difference in power, man. There's a difference. It's a difference, man. But I ain't mad at her, though. I mean, look, she got to do, she got to, you know, she got to clout chase a little bit to do that for women's boxing, to keep her name up there, keep herself buzzing. I ain't mad at her, man. Ain't nobody else helping her out. Ain't nobody else doing nothing for her. Like, these fighters want to go on social media and congratulate her, but they don't want to come to her fight. But she had all they fights. You know what I mean? So, hey, I mean, come on, man. We all know she feeling herself. You know what I mean? She know damn well. You know what I mean? She know damn well. She's gone round the Rousey. Hey, let her do her dizzle. Let her do her dizzle. Let her do whatever she got to do to raise her profile, man. You know what I mean? Everybody else do it. Shit, look what everybody else do. You got Demetrius Andrade out here calling out Earl Spence Jr. You know what I mean? Look at that shit. You know what I mean? Like, look what everybody else. You got Teofimo Lopez calling out everybody. He want Loma. He want Mikey. He want everybody. He want Smoke at 140. They all do it. The men do it. She can't do it. And she got an actual real cause she trying to do it for. Women's boxing. So I ain't mad at her, man. I let the GOAT do what the GOAT do. You know what I'm saying? For real. The trouble with Clarissa is she's not really got anyone to fight. A 5'0" Brit and a near 40-year-old welterweight. Yeah. Cecilia Brackets or Katie Taylor. I mean, yeah. And, you know, more women got to raise up, man. You know, hopefully more women, better women get into the sport. And maybe that's another thing. She don't see the longevity in what she doing. I wouldn't even be surprised, bro. I know, as dumb as it may sound, don't get me wrong, and it is dumb, but I wouldn't be surprised if she actually give herself try to fight a dude. I wouldn't be. I would, after she get done what she doing with the women, if it ain't no smoke there, I wouldn't be surprised if she tries to fight a dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, real talk. I mean, look, there's been some. I've heard people say that what if one of the old timers come out of retirement? I don't want to see it. I don't want to see Layla come back or Ann Wolf or nobody like that, you know. So what's she supposed to do? She likes to fight. She has to raise women boxing's profile. But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if she did it, man. I truly wouldn't. Marcus Davis says, yeah, Shields is smart. She know what she doing. She know what she doing, man. She clout chasing, but it's all good with me. I don't like it when the dudes do it, and I know that might sound a little different, a little wrong, but I don't mind when she do it, because she's, to me, doing it for a reason and a cause. She's already facing an uphill battle as a woman boxer, especially as a brash woman boxer who talk major shit. You know what I'm saying? So she's already fighting an uphill battle. She ain't ladylike for a lot of people out here. She ain't cute and cuddly and wears swimsuits. Nah, she rugged, she raw. She want to knock everybody out. She want to just jump on people. She want to keep it a buck, you know. So that ain't the poster girl. So she's already fighting an uphill battle. Let her do what she do, man. Get Clarissa some space and pull back, y'all. For real. Lopez reminds me of Paulie when he's talked his way into a Cotto fight. Lopez want smoke, man. Lopez want that Loma smoke. I don't think he deserves it. I think that Lopez needs to get a belt or make some noise. See, that's the thing about a lot of fighters. Just because you come in here talking loud and shit and you beat the Chitlin circuit of boxing, let's see what happens. You need to step up and do something first. You don't just get given an opportunity. There's a lot of fighters who would love to get an opportunity like that. A lot of fighters. You know what I mean? Teofimo, you just talking. You just raising a bunch of noise. We need to see that work. Go after Comey. Go get that IBF strap. Make some noise first. Do something first. Then, if you do something, I'll be the first person here on YouTube like, man, Teofimo need that fight. But right now, man, just because you making noise and yeah, it's easy for a young prospect who ain't did nothing to call out a top dog. I mean, they all to do that. They all to do that if they ain't had to go through certain levels. And Teofimo ain't no different. I like him. I like his style. I like how he fights. I like everything about him. But I need to see you put some more work in before you get up to that Loma level. Get a belt. That's all Loma said. Get a belt. Make it worth his while. Make it worth his while. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. Ray Bans, what's up, Holmes? What's goody with you? The myth, the legend, man, that's my man right there. Ray Bans, I'm about to give you a blue suit soon, homie. Real talk, you my man. You my matter of fact, cuzzo, you getting a blue suit right now, man. You was officially been knighted, my G. You know what I'm saying? What's up with you, man? Yeah, man. So yeah, man, and that's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? And Lopez, you gotta put some work in, Holmes. That's all it is. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. You know. So I hope it happens, man. But as for this coming weekend, Terrence Crawford versus Amir Khan. Yeah, man. I'm hearing a lot of fighters gonna be ringside for this fight. You know what I'm saying? I hear a lot of people gonna be ringside for this fight. They talking Kell Brook might be in the building. What are the curves that don't be surprised if Earl Spence stopped through? You know what I mean? Hey, if all that smoke in one building, man, hey, Slim, I'd be happy. It'd definitely be worth the money. Most importantly, though, I'm looking forward to the undercard for this whole event. I'm looking damn forward to seeing Shakur Stevenson. They saying he's stepping up with this dude, Christopher Diaz. We know Christopher Diaz's main loss came to that dude, Masayuki Ito. And Ito kind of somehow schooled him, but hey, Diaz held his own. Diaz, he gave a lot of good work in that fight. Some people say he's the more experienced fighter. He's a come forward, hard puncher, good knockout ratio. Been around the game for a minute. I like Christopher Diaz, hard punch, a lot of heart, and this will definitely test Shakur Stevenson with his 10 fights. If Shakur Stevenson can go in there and knock this dude out, bro, I'm leaving impressed, man. You gonna be at the Danny fight, Ray Bans? Oh, that's what it is, bro. Enjoy yourself, man. Enjoy yourself, man, all day. I got Danny stopping them, man, son. I got him stopping him. I got him stopping Adrian Granados. And I'm going to go ahead and do a prediction right now for everybody out with me on the late night. I think Danny Garcia stops Adrian Granados. I'm going to say round 9. Round 9 is lights out for Adrian Granados. We'll be covering that fight, maybe. It all depends on what time it comes on in comparison to the Terrence Crawford fight. If not, I catch it when I catch it. It's all about T-Bud this weekend for me, homie. It's all about T-Bud this weekend for me. But enjoy yourself, Ray Bans. Enjoy yourself, man. Turn all the way up, man. Have a good time at that fight, man. Man, yeah, man. Let me know what that whole event was like, man. When you get back and we get on this live stream, I'm definitely gonna be asking you, man. You know, let me know how the whole thing went down, son. I don't know. You taking Adrian? What? Oh, you the first person I heard say you taking Adrian Granados in that fight. You got to explain to me, man. Put something in that comment section. Let me know why you taking Adrian Granados. You think Adrian is his aggressiveness is going to affect Danny Garcia? Is that what you're saying? Let me know. Tree Duck says Freddie Roach isn't impressed with Stevenson. Freddie Roach ain't never impressed with somebody he ain't coaching. You know what I'm saying? Freddie Roach say little stuff like that just so like he can maybe get an opportunity to coach him. Well, you know, I don't think he did this right. I don't think he did that right. I'm impressed with Stevenson so far. Now, given the people, I think Stevenson is going to emerge as the top dog of the new generation. I mean, Freddie Roach is a Hall of Fame trainer, no doubt about it in my mind. But Freddie Roach always get a little bit salty when somebody is good and he don't get the opportunity to coach him. You know what I'm saying? He's always said stuff like that about Crawford. I mean, numerous other fighters. If he ain't got nothing to do with the plan, if he ain't got nothing to do with the game plan, he throw a little salt on that wound. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. Look at what he did to Ben Davison with Tyson Fury. Right after the Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder fight was over, you had Freddie Roach in the public criticizing Ben Davison. That's what Freddie do. You know what I mean? That's what Freddie do. That's why him and Robert Garcia that's what Freddie do. He criticizes from afar whenever he ain't coaching. Man, come on, man. Shakur, that dude. I like Shakur. I got full faith in Shakur Stevenson. He got a hell of a manager in Jay Prince. He have hella mentors with Andre Ward. He's sparring the likes of a Turnsburg Crawford. He's got Timothy Bradley right there to giving him advice. Man, this dude has got iron all around him, cousin. I got respect for Shakur, and I think that Shakur gonna be all right as long as he keep his head in the game. You know what I'm saying? I think Granados, Ray-Ban says, I think Granados is going to be too much for Dan. You think that pressure going to be too much? Going to be all over him this fight. I don't know, but we'll see. But see, what I was saying earlier, Ray-Bans, is that the thing that we seen that gives Danny Garcia problems is pressure. Yeah, but that's after you switch the tempo on him. Like, you go back to Sean Porter. Sean Porter boxed him for half of the fight, then turned up the pressure. Go back to Mauricio Herrera. Mauricio Herrera, he did it vice versa. He turned up the pressure first and then started to box him. It tossed Danny rhythm all off. Danny doesn't know how to respond to that. Keith Thurman, same thing. The only difference is that Keith Thurman started to retreat more so in the second half of the fight, and that's what Danny started to take a little bit of advantage back. But when you switch tempos on Danny, it puts him in the twilight zone. You know what I mean? And I don't think that Adrian Granados has the tools or the ability to switch tempos mid-fight. I don't think he's nearly that good of a boxer. You know, when he beat Amir Imam back in the day, he put sheer pressure on him for the entire fight. When he was giving Adrian Bronner that work, it was through one gear of sheer pressure. And I think when you act in that one gear fashion against Danny Garcia, nah, brother, it's a wrap, Captain. You know what I'm saying? He's like Bob Arum then. Yeah. Marcus Davis said Diaz can punch and he's strong. He punches wide though. So all Shakur got to do is come straight down the middle with that left hand, catch him between those wide shots, and that Diaz be thrown. I agree. And that's what the same thing that Masayuki Ito was doing. Masayuki Ito's power punches were straight. They were straight. That's how he got knocked down against Ito. That was a hell of a fight too, cousin. If y'all ain't seen the Ito versus Diaz fight, man, I'm telling y'all, man, that's a fight to go back and watch. That was a hell of a fight. Hell of a fight, I thought. Some say that Ito schooled him, but I thought it was a hell of a fight. Diaz was getting some rounds in too, man. I like Diaz. He fights with a lot of heart, but I agree with you 100%, Marcus Davis. He swings wide. He swings wide. And we all know a straight line beats, wide punches all day in the paint. You know what I'm saying? Tree Duck says Granados can outwork Danny like he did with Bronner, but I think Danny has taken him serious. Danny got everything to lose in this fight, bro. Danny loses to Adrian Granados. It's a wrap. It is done. It is over. It is nothing to talk about. Danny's career will be in the gutter. Danny will be depressed all this shit. It'll be a wrap, cuz. I'm sorry. It'll be a wrap. You know what I mean? Like, Danny got to win this fight if he wants to stay in the conversation, given that he's already lost to Porter and Thurman. The only ones left is Terrence Crawford, and if he even wants to make it to a rematch with either one of those guys, he has to win this and look good doing it. I'm telling you, man. I see determination in Danny's eyes. I've been looking at all the interviews and seeing the face-offs, and I see a lot of determination in Danny's eyes. I seen the same thing in the Sean Porter fight. The only difference was that Sean Porter had a better game plan. I don't think Adrian Granados has the tools to execute a better game plan. Ray-Bans 805 says, thank you for making me a mob, brother. Thank you. Man, Slim, you my homie, man. Hey, much love. You fam, bro. You deserve it. Thank you for your support. And that's the thing, y'all. You support me, I support you all day. Man, you got that blue suit, homie. You got that blue suit with that pistol. You do what you do. Tree Duck says, who do you think Crawford fights next after Khan? That's a good question, Tree Duck. That's a good question, homie. Oh, man, who does Crawford fight after Khan? I mean, I got some hopes. I don't know for sure. At this point, I cannot answer that question. That is something that Bob Arum's going to have to deal with. Having the Tyson Furies and the Terrence Crawfords and the Vasil Lomachenkos of the world, having these fighters, you're going to have to find them dance partners. I have no fucking idea, bro. Kell Brook is a viable option. I don't know. I don't know if any of the PBC fighters are going to come. I tell you the fight that I want to see, and truth be told, and I know this is wishful thinking, of course, first and foremost, get it out the way, Earl Spence Jr. No doubt about it. That's the first option. But if that ain't going to happen, I want to see Danny Garcia. I want to see Danny Garcia. And the reason why is because them two have history. Them two have history always back to the amateurs. They are 1-1 in the amateurs, and they need to settle the score as professionals. I would like to see Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia diss Crawford's whole undisputed record. Who he beat, who he fought. I fought better competition, and I could have got been undisputed too if I would have did this and didn't do that. You want to shit on him? Then fight him. You've got no reason not to fight him. They try to go through your daddy to fight you. They want Danny. I think Danny and Crawford would be a hell of a fight. And Danny should be wise enough to take that opportunity. That'd be a great opportunity for Danny Garcia. But I don't know, man. I mean, looking at the horizon of the realistic possibilities. Let's see. And I'm thinking hard here, bro. Jesse Vargas. No, but Jesse going back to 54, right? Damn, who is available for Terrence Bud Crawford on a realistic level if he defeats Khan? Well, I don't know if it's mandatory going to be coming around, and I don't want to see that Kavaliauskas do. I hope Bob Arum doesn't try to put Aegis Kavaliauskas in there with him, because, I mean, everybody have a bad night, and Aegis had a terrible night with Ray Robinson. Some even saying that Ray Robinson beat him. Maybe Aegis, bro. That's I mean, given that Aegis didn't lose his position in the WBO, it could be him. It could be him. We'll see. We'll see. Brook is in town too all day. That'll be a great fight. Kell Brook versus Terrence Crawford. And you know, Brook like to walk in Amir Khan's shadow and shit. Whatever Khan do, Brook want to do. So guess what? That'll be a hell of a fight. That'll be a hell of a fight. If Brook don't want to go to 54 and face Jaime Munguia, which I think would be another good fight for him. But if he don't want to take that fight, then guess what? Terrence Crawford, that is a definitely good fight. I don't know how much DAZN, how happy they would be with sending Kell Brook over to ESPN. So you got to remember, Kell Brook is not Khan. Khan is like we were talking about Luis Ortiz earlier. Khan is similar to a fighter like that, where he walks to his own beat. He does what the hell he wants to do. So if Khan going to switch networks, that's what he going to do. Khan realized, I ain't locked into DAZN. Matchroom is locked into DAZN. And guess what? I'm not, far as the fight, I can do what I want to do. I'm Amir Khan. I'm going over to ESPN, your rival, and fight their number one pound for pound fighter on your rival's network against Eddie Hearn's wishes. That's how Khan moves. Kell ain't usually nearly as brave as that, you know what I mean? Which I wish he would be. But it is what it is. Danny really dissed ESPN and Arum today. See, that's what I'm saying, man. See, Danny don't really... See, I mean, a lot of people jump on Earl Spence Jr. for not fighting Terrence. I really, I really be pissed off, dog, when Danny talk that bullshit. That one really pisses me off because, yo, you've been dissing Crawford for years, bruh. It's like you burn every bridge to make that fight. That's the one that really pisses me off. You hear me? When Danny talk like that. Because y'all got history in the amateurs. Him and Spence don't. Y'all went 1-1 in the amateurs. Him and Spence didn't. You talk shit about Crawford all the way through 140. That's something that Spence doesn't do. Spence at least respects Crawford to a certain degree. You, on the other hand, Danny, show no respect. You think you much better. Y'all used to work out together the whole night, be in the same locker rooms, competition all the way through their teenage years. And you don't want to fight him. See, Danny be killing me. It's like he deliberately burns those bridges not to see Terrence Bud Crawford for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Yeah, like my man Orlando says, hit the like button for me, man. We putting in work on the late night. Hit the like button for me. If you're sliding through, if you're family, you know what I'm saying? Hit the like button for me. If you want to become family, hit the subscribe button for me, man, and rock with the homie. You know what I'm saying? Real talk, man. So let's go. Tree Duck says Brook was saying he's looking to stay at 147. Yeah, I don't think that's a good look, Tree Duck. That's just my opinion. I don't think it's a good look. I think Brook should go to 54. I mean, if he makes the weight safely, cool, but no excuses. No excuses. I mean, a lot of people covered for him in the Earl Spence fight. Oh, he was drained. He was weight drained, and he couldn't get to that weight. You know, a lot of people covered for him, Joe. He came to 154. Oh, talking about Jamel Charlo, well, this and that and the third, and he'll do this and he'll do that. He's not a young hungry. He's not a lion, and all. I'll be heard and all of this other shit. Like you came to 54 talking major shit. Your eye held up, cousin. I think he need to stay up there, man. That's just my opinion. Going to 47, he only doing it because Khan told him to do it. Khan said, I'm go to 47 and we can fight. Then he starts to go to 47. It's like Khan is his daddy, man. This is I'm a Kell Brook fan. It's no secret. Everybody knows it. Main man likes Kell Brook. But at the end of the day, Kell Brook be just, I'm disappointed in him right now. I'm very disappointed in Kell Brook right now. Very, very. He don't want to make his own story. He wants Khan to make his story for him. He could easily go and try to fight Jaime Munguia and try to take that title from Jaime. But funny how when Saddam Ali had that same title, Kell was game to go after that title. Funny how when, everybody, when he thought other fighters would have that title, he was game. The second that Jaime Munguia got his hand on that title, he didn't even mention it no more. Come on, man. Kell be pissing me off, man. Pissing me off, homie. Ray-Ban says, I watch a lot of boxing videos like Ego and all those other guys, but Main Man is number one, man. He keeps it real all day, fam. All day. All day. You know what it is. We talking boxing, homie. And up off the late night, man. Hey, man. Man, they've been giving me technical difficulties all week, man. I've been looking forward to getting on here with y'all, man. I wish a lot more of the fam could be here, but I understand it's late and people got to go to work, man. So it's all good, man. Everybody who rocking with me tonight, much love to you all day. Tree Duck says, I think Brook should go to 54, but I don't think he's confident against Charlo and Hurd, or he doesn't think that the money is there for those fights. The money is there. The money is there. The money is there, homie. My thing is you can carve your own lane. That's what's most important. You can carve your own lane. You can go after a big fight in Jaime Munguia where no politics stops that fight. This is why I keep mentioning Jaime Munguia. They both fight on DAZN. DAZN will welcome that fight. And all Eddie has to do is call Oscar. The same way that they're doing with Daniel Jacobs and Canelo Alvarez. All Eddie got to do is call Oscar and says, Brook wants Jaime Munguia. Not to mention Brook is rated high in the WBO. It just makes perfect sense. And this is why I'm saying I think he should go to 54. Only reason that Brook wasn't even talking about 147 no more. Even when he said he would rematch against Earl Spence Jr., he told Earl Spence Jr. to meet me at a catchweight. That's what he told Earl. He didn't want to even go to 47 for Earl. So now all of a sudden, Brook going to 47. He goes to Fuerte Fortuna, Spain, and now he wants to go down to 147 after Khan. Tell him to meet me at 47. Man, come on. We know what's up, man. We know what it is. Lawrence Williams says, I like Brook versus Horn in the UK or Australia. That's a big money fight all day. That's a big money fight. And they can do it at 54. Horn can get to 54. Horn is saying that he want to go up to 160. Horn can do it at 54. And I think Jeff Horn gets a bad rap, Lawrence. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I think Jeff Horn gets a bad rap in boxing. You know why? He's high risk and low reward for some. I guess people see him as low reward when the man got a country behind him. But he's a hard fighter. He's not an easy fighter. Just because Turns beat him the way Turns beat him, don't mean that everybody will beat him in that fashion. Jeff Horn fights balls to the wall. He can give a lot of fighters hell. And that's why they don't get in the ring with him. Kell ain't gonna do it. Kell ain't gonna do it. I think it's a good fight though, but Kell ain't gonna do it. Yeah, at 54, Kell ain't gonna do it. After what was that last cat he fought? I forget his name. It's escaping. Zarafa, was it? I forget the last guy. How he went with that cat, man. No, Kell ain't gonna do it. Kell ain't gonna do it. I don't see it, unfortunately. I don't see it. I don't know why Brook didn't take the fight with Jesse Vargas, especially now. Vargas is going to 54. At 54, Brook wins the one easy. Yeah, I understand that situation right there. Why Jesse Vargas backed out of that situation? I was lost on that. I mean, it's bad enough that they were already fighting when they had an opportunity back in the day to fight for a unified title. But now they fighting today with no belts. And Jesse backed out of that fight for whatever reason. I ain't understand that situation. I remember talking about it at the time when it went down, but I don't know what's the found. If any, I know I got a lot of knowledgeable subs in here, man. If anybody know, man, put it in the comment. I would like to know. I don't know the real reason that just like Jesse just all of a sudden just woke up and was like, nah, I'm not fighting Kell Brook no more. So I don't understand what the story was with that. You know what I mean? I thought that was a good stay busy fight for him. But I don't understand I don't know what was going down with that situation, man. I don't know. I know Kell was going through a lot of stuff with his trainer, man, and and stuff like that. And he had a lot of drama playing out in the background. And I heard he wasn't too happy with Eddie Hearn because he let Khan get away from him. But you know, it is what it is, man. Hey, man, Khan, man. The sad part is that Khan might lose to Crawford, and then still call out Kell Brook, and Kell Brook gonna be like, "I'm right here, Khan. I'm right here." That'd be the most degrading, stupid thing that I ever seen in my life, bro. I lose a lot of respect for Kell. If Khan gets destroyed by Crawford, and then Khan gets in there in the post-fight interview, say, "Well, Kell, I'm available. Let's go. Let's do it." Oh, and on top of that, I want 60-40, and I need you to go to 47, and you can't rehydrate 10 pounds. And if Kell do it after this man loses to Crawford, man, hey, Slim, that might just maybe that'd be it for me and Kell Brook, bro. I ain't got nothing else to say about Kell Brook because that'd be disrespectful. He just disrespects himself pressing for a Khan fight. Is it that? Are you that pressed? Are you that pressed? How good y'all think Khan gonna do against Crawford though, man? How many rounds y'all giving? How many rounds did y'all give? Do I even got anybody in the comment section thinking that Amir Khan gonna win? Let me know, because I'm like, what? Let me know that. I'm not sure about Brooks' new trainer. Yeah, he ain't look too good in his last fight. That's for damn sure. He did something similar. I mean, even though I thought he won convincingly, a lot of people was overly criticizing him on it. I thought he won convincingly, but he didn't look nearly as solid as he looked in the past. He did something similar to when Khan got KO'd by Canelo. Yeah, that was a bad decision. That was a bad decision. That was a terrible decision by him. But anybody out there that think that Khan gonna beat Crawford? Anybody? I mean, I don't think Khan lasts beyond 7 rounds. I think after the 7th, I say 8th round. I'm gonna say 8th round. I think Terence Crawford stops him, man. I think it's a wrap, cap. I think Khan loses. At best, he lasts 9 or 10 rounds. 9 or 10 is about good. I give it 8 to 9 tops. You know what I'm saying? Before Crawford, you know, gets the timing down, gets the rhythm down, starts to press the action, and starts to realize that, you know, even though Khan is a fast boxer, Khan can be backed up very, very easy. Very, very easy. I'm sorry, man. I'm just not so, and I gotta see it to believe it. I'll be looking at that weigh-in tomorrow. I gotta see it to believe it. How well will Khan make 4-7? I understand he was working his way back down in weight against Samuel, but he had to strip down to his fruit of the looms to make weight last fight. That's why I was really surprised when Khan came out and said he got to fight me at 47, because Khan had to work hard to get back down to 4-7. So I'm dying to hear. I'm dying to see it. I'm dying to see how this weight thing gonna affect Khan. Is Khan gonna make weight? Will he miss weight? Will it take him 1 or 2 times to get to the weight? I'm dying to know that. You know what I'm saying? But I think Khan's gone by round 8 or 9. I think he boxes well in the first 4 or 5 rounds. Everybody is, you know, it's the same game plan that everybody thinks. He boxes well earlier on before Crawford times him and gets his rhythm down, and then it's gonna be a wrap. I mean, I just think so. I just hope that Crawford, man, gets what he deserves, the credit that he deserves, because I am sick and tired of people out here saying that Crawford is a top pound-for-pound fighter, or you're a top 5 pound-for-pound fighter, or you're a top 3 pound-for-pound fighter. He is the number 1 pound-for-pound fighter, and if anybody want to make any other arguments, holler at your boy. That's what I'm going to tell you. Holler at your boy, because I would love to have that debate. Straight out of Duval, what's up with you? What's going on? Khan definitely not winning shit. He ain't winning nothing, homie, at all. You know what I mean? He's just gonna be another. He's just gonna, and then people be like, "Oh, that's the biggest name of Terence Crawford's career." Man, look, I don't see it that way. That's just me though, and I got respect for Khan. I told y'all. I mean, I clown on Khan. I got respect for him. I don't think he's a bad fighter. I don't think he's garbage or trash by any means. But when you got a bad nervous system, when you've been knocked down and knocked out so many times, there's something in your brain at that point that makes you a bit cautious or makes you overthink in certain portions of the fight. I can get caught at any time. And just that little bit of posturing against a fighter like Terence Crawford, that's all it takes. That's all it takes, man. That's all it takes. Tree Duck says, Khan seems to be stronger when he was with Freddie Roach and Alex Ariza. The Ariza shakes. He took everything that McDonough could throw, even though he looked gone in the 10th. Yeah, he fought a good fight against McDonough. Yeah, if one more round, he wouldn't have made it. One more round and that fight was over. But he did. I got to give it to him. That was one of the best fights I've seen Khan fight. Through the 10th, about the 9th round, Khan was shining, looking good, bro, looking real good. But, you know, hey, man, I mean, I think him and Virgil Hunter going to work out good. I think they got real good chemistry. I think Virgil Hunter is going to give him a decent game plan. Virgil Hunter is my favorite trainer by far. He's my number 1 favorite trainer in boxing. I've always been a major fan of Virgil Hunter. We'll see. I think they work good together. I think they work good. It's just at this point though, it just going up against a different animal and a different level of Terrence Crawford and seeing what I seen in the Sammy Vargas fight. I just nah. Michael Stott, what's going on? What's going on? I see you in the background, homie. What's up with you? Marcus Davis says, I don't think that Khan is going to win. Khan might win 2 rounds at most. Damn, 2 rounds at most, maybe 3. Okay, Khan going to make the same mistakes he always do, and Crawford going to take advantage of Khan bad habits. You mean that he's going to overcommit? He going to start to overcommit, get caught up in the fight, forget the game plan, and start to do a little too much, and then paya, lights out for Amir Khan. I could definitely see that. Real shit. But 2 rounds? God damn, you really going 2 rounds? Hey, maybe you're right. I mean, who knows? Who knows, man? The good thing about Crawford that he can bring many different kinds of fights to you. There isn't just one fight that Terrence Crawford can fight like he did against Samuel Vargas, for example. Samuel Vargas brought one kind of fight. No adjustments, nothing changed. Same guy each and every round. That ain't Crawford. If it ain't working, I'm going to do this. If that ain't working, I'm going to do that. If I got to counter punch, I'll counter punch. If I got to put my foot on the gas, I'll do that. If I got to go with the southpaw, I'll do that. If I got to go orthodox, I'll do that. Crawford can just bring too many levels and dimensions to a fight for Khan. So whichever one starts to work, it's it. It's over. Khan should probably fight the same way he fought against Paulie. Use the jab and don't get caught throwing flurries in the pocket. I mean, flurries can be a good thing for Khan. But I think Khan need to work the right hand. His 1-2 is fast. 1-2 and get the hell out of dodge. 1-2, get the hell out of dodge. Do that for a few rounds, and then he's going to have to adjust. Because I look, man, much as I hate to say it, and I'm a big Terrence Crawford fan, but Benavidez was landing on him. And like I told y'all, it was easier for Benavidez to do that because he was a stationary guy and he wasn't moving. He was timing that right hand good. But he was tagging Crawford, and he had the reach to do it. Khan has the reach to do it. 1-2 and get out of dodge. Don't overcommit too many times. We'll see. Don't get into a physical thing with Crawford. If he's smart, he won't. Don't try to do it. Don't do what Jeff Horn thought he can do and get physical with this dude. Crawford is much stronger than you think he is. And don't let him on the inside. Don't let him on the inside. Michael Stott says, I think Crawford will toy with Khan. As soon as he hurts him, I don't think Crawford will go for it quick. Crawford likes to torment the opponents. I know, you're right. I think he's going to torment Khan. I don't know. He don't got a lot of disdain for Khan from what I'm seeing. He sees Khan as just an ordinary opponent, but you're right. Crawford likes the style. He wants to show off a little bit. Show the welterweight division. Look what I am. I'm going to beat this cat round after round. Earl, look at this. Are you ringside? Did you see what I'm doing with this dude? I'm playing with this man. Danny, you see what I'm doing with this man? I'm playing with this man. And Khan was getting out on Danny when they fought. Until Danny hit him with the no-look hook. Shit, Khan was getting out on Danny, man. Khan was putting them three, 4-piece combinations together. Each. He was putting them shits together. But he ain't going to be able to do that shit on Crawford. And not after about the 5th round. After about the 5th round, it's going to be just like Danny did. Timed. I'm going to break those flurries up each and every time. Crawford can also move his feet. Man, Crawford just two-dimensional, bro. He just got too much going, man. God damn, he just got tools everywhere. He reminds me of Keith Thurman. That's why I got respect for Keith so much. Keith got tools everywhere. Earl is showing me more of his tools. I had Earl figured as one kind of fighter until I seen the Mikey fight, and now that I see, oh, there's other tools in the bag with Earl. Earl can box. Earl can throw the jab. He is an Olympian. It opened my eyes to those things. I've already seen him with Crawford. I've already seen him with Keith. I've even been, Porter doesn't do him so well as I think. I don't think Porter's nearly as good as a boxer as, say, Terrence, Keith, or maybe even Earl. I don't think Porter's that effective of a boxer, in my opinion. But Slim, Terrence just got just so many tools, man. God damn. Call that motherfucker home improvement. You know what I'm saying? Call that dude, what's the Tim the Tool Man or something, man. That dude got all the tools, man. Real talk, man. Much love to Terrence Crawford. Looking forward to him stopping Amir Khan. Very interested to see where he pivots next. Don't know. Maybe Aegis Kalvalauskas. Don't really want to see that. Hopefully, one of the PBC fighters show some heart. You know what I'm saying? Let Al know. Make the fight. You know what I'm saying? Make the fight, Al. Let's get this cat out the way. If Danny is smart, that's the route he would go. They already threw him a bag of money. He just turned it down. It is what it is. So we'll see how it go, man. We'll see how it go. But before I end this stream tonight, fellas and ladies, anybody who listening here, the sound of my voice, let's not give up on Luis Ortiz. I want to go back to this before I end this, man. Luis King Kong Ortiz, I hope he accepts this fight. I've already given the reasons why I want to see him accept this fight. I think this is the best opportunity for him, and I don't see this opportunity coming back around. However, if Eddie Hearn changes the terms on Luis Ortiz, then of course he needs to back out. He needs the exact same terms that Jarrell Big Baby Miller got. Don't give me no shit about Luis Ortiz taking fights on short notice, because he's done it in the past or was willing to do it in the past against high-profile fighters like Dillian White, and we talking 2.5 weeks in that case. So don't give it to him. And Anthony Joshua was saying, you know, hey, he willing to do it. I think that I want to see Luis Ortiz do it for the sake of Luis Ortiz. That's if he can do it. If he can do it. And make no mistake about it, because I want to be on record with this too. If Luis Ortiz chooses not to do it for whatever reason, whether it be he's on the blood pressure medication, or he's not in shape, or he sustained the injury after the last fight or during the camp, or whenever the case may be, I'm not here to dump on Luis Ortiz. We ain't fighters, and we can't say what he's dealing with right after a fight. I just think from a financial standpoint, from your future standpoint, and the opportunity that this presents, it's the best thing for him. But if he decides not to, I'm not gonna come on here and dog Luis Ortiz. And I just want everybody to know that. Don't come to Main Man Made Man thinking he gonna turn up on Luis Ortiz because he turned this fight down, because I'm not. I respect Luis Ortiz. I just want him to do this for the betterment of himself. And I'm going to leave it right there, man. Ortiz is the best available opponent, period, all day. Ray-Bans, brother, I'm going to go to bed, man. Good night, brother, man. Much love. Much love to you, Ray-Bans. And thank you for all your support. Straight out of Duval, Crawford is becoming the new adjustment king. All day. Ambidextrous and then some. Too many twos, homie. That bag too big. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. So I'm going to leave it there. To the next video, Main Man Made Man. Don't forget to subscribe. Twitter, Made Man 511. Facebook, Main Man Made Man. Boxing Forum, and Instagram that I'm now being much more active on. Check me out on Instagram at Main Man Made Man. Much love to everybody that rolled with me on the late night. To all my first shift workers, finish it out, man. Y'all will be getting off real soon, man. I know we help burn some time tonight. You know what I'm saying? To everybody that's up, man, take your ass to sleep. You know what I'm saying? To the next video. All love. To the next video. Tree Duck, thank you for your participation, homie. And thank you for all them cool questions. Marcus Davis, thank you for your participation and riding with me. Michael Stott, thank you for riding with me. My homie, Orlando Finney, thank you for riding with me, man. Lawrence Williams, much love to your homie. Hey, everybody who hear the sound of my voice, if you want to go check out a cool-ass channel, cat that know his boxing, go check out my homie Lawrence Williams, man. I'm subscribed, and I love that channel, man. Very knowledgeable cat right there. All day in the paint. Much love to each and every one of y'all, man. To the next one, man. Peace out.